Hello, beautiful people. Today I'm coming to you from my living room, and I want to show you with my freshly cleaned aquarium. It's a planted aquarium. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'm trying to get both of us in there. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you today about something that happened at the park on Tuesday that was concerning for me, and I feel that I want to share this information, this story, because especially to parents. Okay, I'm just going to get into it. Okay, I was working at the park, and I take care of the sunglasses and jewelry at the parks, and I was working at a display in an exit store. So that means that when a ride exits, when people exit the ride, they exit through the store. So this group of little boys, young boys, maybe preteen, they get off the ride, they come in, and they're standing behind the display where I'm working, so they can't see me. And they didn't know that I was on the other side working. It's not a big display, it's just a sunglass display, whatever. So the one boy says, "Will you buy this for me?" to the other little boy. And the other little boy says, "I'll buy that for you if you drop your pants for 5 seconds. Okay, problem number one. Okay. So the other little boy, the first one, says, again, he's negotiating. He's finding out the terms of this dare, right? Next thing I know, there he is standing there, pants down around his ankles. Just let the I mean, in a theme park now, public store. Now, there are several things going on. So I'm like, what are you doing? Pull them up. Get them up. Up. First off, they could both be banned from the park. Both. You know, it's exposure. I don't care what age you are. So I say to the kids, I'm like, hasn't your parents taught you class? Have you been taught about class? No. I said, you need to go home and talk to your parents and ask them about class. Being classy or trashy. Because the event that just occurred is trashy. And they asked me a little bit about class. I said, you need to speak to your parents about class, being classy, and good behavior. And I wanted to take the other little boy aside and say, listen, any true friend of yours is not going to have you drop your pants to help to buy you something. It's not worth it. They're not your friend. You're a plaything for them. Don't do it. Okay? I'm speaking to all little children out there if you're watching me, which you shouldn't be, but because I have the thing for no kids. And as parents, we should be teaching our children right from wrong. We should be teaching our children, warning them, hey, if you want something and somebody says, well, if you do this, I'll do this for you. And you know, it may be questionable. This kid had no problem with it. He did ask for terms. He had asked a tiny little, maybe like 2 questions, but I couldn't hear the questions because they were quiet. And he did it anyway. So be aware. And there were no adults around. These children were there with I saw not a single adult supervision. There was no guardian. This was a class trip or a camp trip or whatever. Be aware of what your children are doing, and give them the information that they need to make good decisions. Because both of these boys could have been banned from life And they still might be, because there are, we're always, all, there's videotapes everywhere, right? Everybody's being on cameras now. I don't know to what degree the boy dropped, if it was complete or just the outer layer. I didn't want to see. I have sons, I don't, you know what I mean? It was inappropriate. And this boy did it. All the way down to the ankles. Not even just a little bit, like, thigh level, knees, top of the knees. No, all the way down on the shoes. Talk to your kids, please, and give them what they need to know so that this does not happen and they find themselves in a situation where they could be in harm's way. I'm a mom, and I would be devastated if my child did either one of those things. Made the dare, oh, I'll buy you that I'll buy that candy for you if you drop your pants. That's disturbing. That's a mental case. And the second one is the other kid who did it, and maybe he just wants to be friends with that kid. Work on his self-esteem. You don't need friends like that. That's no friend. So, parents, be aware of what your children are doing. Give them the tools that they need to make the good decisions in life. Because I'm telling you, this is concerning. This is concerning behavior. I will step off of my soapbox now. And I've given you information that hopefully will help you to teach your children to be good, decent, upstanding citizens, and helpful, and not bribing someone or daring them, and to do things that are inappropriate that could get both, the other kid especially, they may not even, that kid could have been banned for life. Public exposure. Just really teach your children, teach them well, just like the song says. Give them the information they need. Set the rules before they leave on any sort of camp or school outing or whatever, and let them know that they are to behave in public, behave themselves, make good choices. If they have a thought in their brain, that questions their behavior, that should automatically be a no. Don't do it. I just caught another little girl at another shop getting ready to steal. This is the second time I've caught somebody getting ready to steal. They were moving their hand slow into their pocket, whatever they had, piece of jewelry. And looking me dead in the eye, she's doing it. These things are concerning, and then they wonder why they can't afford anything at the park. The prices have to go up to pay for that theft. And do they know who they're stealing from? Do they think they're stealing from the theme park? Or perhaps they're stealing from someone who has something on consignment. Maybe a single mom with a special needs child. Or, it doesn't matter who. It's not always a big corporation that can absorb that loss. So there are things that are just disturbing going on. Teach your children. Give them some good guidance. Give them good advice. Explain to them that, the big picture. That little boy, preteen, whatever he was, preteen for sure. Maybe 11, 12 years old, whatever. He could have been banned for life from the park. They may have it on video, and they may be looking up trying to find out who he is so they can ban him. We don't know. you steal from the park, you can be banned for life. You can. Life's long. And that means every Six Flags you go to. And they may even put the word out to other, other parks as well. And say, well, actually Six Flags is now merged with Cedar Fair, so it would be double, whatever Cedar Fair has. I don't know what they have. So no Hurricane Harbors, no Six Flags, whatever, no, nothing. So if you enjoy going to these places, going into public, be respectful. And I'm asking the parents, teach your kids about being respectful, not only to others, but have respect for themselves, self-respect. Because what that kid did, he had no self-respect. He took that kid's dare like that. I mean, he took a couple seconds, asked a couple questions, but he did it. And that's a problem. What kind of adult is he going to turn into? Is he going to continue to look for these, quote, friends who only are friends with them because they're using them as a toy? It's entertainment for these people because that kid had the money to buy the candy that the other kid wanted. And it was candy. Something that's gone in a second. You eat it and it goes through the system and it's flushed down the toilet. You know what I mean? It's not something long lasting. Now he's forever has the moment that the embarrassment. He dropped his pants for a piece of candy. Think about it. What if it was a stranger in a van? Hey, little boy, I got some candy. Do you see what I'm saying? This is really important information, and I'm hoping that you all understand and agree with me that this is a problem in the long, for these children. And leave a comment in the comment section. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe bell. I appreciate your subscriptions and all your likes and shares. And I hope that this information that I'm bringing to you is helpful in some way and that we can help. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and I agree with that. And there's a reason for it. And we all have to, as parents and adults, even if you're a teenager could have stood there and seen that and said, hey, pull him up. What are you doing? And that kid's not your friend. If a teenager told a little kid, a preteen, that kid's not your friend, he will never be your friend as long as he's doing that to you. You're a toy to him. You're a game to him. You're his entertainment. You're like his jester. Get some self-respect. Get some class. Keep it classy. Stay away from trashy. That's my message today. I hope you've enjoyed this story time. And I hope that you can pass on the message and help another parent who's struggling. And, I hope you all have a blessed day and can help teach a child right from wrong, because clearly there's something going on with the parental units and the world this day with these younglings that are coming out, because it's, they're struggling. They are struggling. So get the village together. If you see some misbehavior, don't be afraid to say, hey, you need to fix yourself, or give the parents some advice. There was a parent at FedEx, or a grandparent, I'm not really sure. And the kid was on a leash on her arm, maybe 11 years old. He was clearly ADHD. I don't know. It's definitely special needs. And the kid was bouncing off this off this chain, off of this springy leash that she had. I mean, just running and bouncing like one of those paddle balls. You know, you see the paddle and it's got the string and it's just bing, bing, bing. That's how this kid was. And I said, I'm going to give you some words of advice, if you don't mind, that may help you. When my child was in, he went to gifted classes. He's autistic, there were other kids in the class that were highly intelligent, but they were also special needs. They had ADHD and these things. And the teacher told me how she handled ADHD kids. The ones that just can't sit still and they're bouncing and they're just pinging, ping, ping, ping. She puts 2 pieces of tape on the floor. And the kid has to stand on the tape. Then he has to bring his elbows up like this. And real slow, with purpose, just real slow. Then he has to push his arms down to activate the tape. And he has to do this and focus until the tape is activated. And that means the kid is staying put. And eventually, when they get out in public, they have to imagine it. And usually you can do it like with the linoleum squares that you see like at the grocery stores and stuff. Okay, 1 foot here, 1 foot here. Let me activate the tiles. You know, and that way the kid's not pinging all over the place. She's like, I've never heard that before. I've taken him to all kinds of therapists, and I've never, what kind, she goes, this is kind of funny and sad at the same time. She goes, what kind of tape did you say that was? So it could be any kind. It could be painter's tape. It could be electrical. It could be masking. It could be whatever you got, duct tape. I don't know. Just 2 little strips. You don't need much, just, it could be just this much. Very important. Just, and then eventually you teach them to imagine it. Okay, imagine your tape. Oh, I see the tape. Do you see the tape? Okay, let's activate the tape. Because this kid almost ran into me and knocked me over multiple times. And I've had a couple back surgeries and I don't like falling. But this kid would have taken me out in a minute. That's how fast he was running in the FedEx store. And that's just a little bitty store. And the kid was just bouncing. I mean, just like one of those paddle ball things. God bless him. And God bless her for dealing with it. I mean, I could tell she was frazzled. She was frazzled. And she was disabled in some way. She had something going on with her hands or something. I can't remember. She definitely was disabled of sorts. And I don't know if she was the mom or the grandmom or the guardian. I don't know. She was some sort of guardian. And I was happy to give her this information. And I hope it helps her. Don't be afraid. If you have information to tell a parent, you see how you can help this parent. Now, I've never had a problem with it, but some may get upset and they may say, you need to mind your own business. Well, you need to take care of your kid because this child is running amok. And what kind of citizen is he going to be? Is he going to be able to function in public? And this is what it all boils down to, right? Functioning in public around other people. The earth is our home. And for humanity, we all need to help each other. And this is what I'm getting at. Be the village. Help others raise their children. If you have knowledge that others don't have, share your knowledge. It could help them. It could help them. Don't be afraid to say, just share. And you don't have to be like, angry and be all like, you need to control your kid, whatever. You can do it in a kind way. You can do it in a nice, polite way. Hey, I have some information that could help you. Have you tried this method? I would also like to say that there is a book out there, if you haven't read it as a parent. I know that it helped me when my children were young, which is, I don't know the author, but it's How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk. They also have it for adults. I will put it in the description below. This book, I have given this book out to people. This book is incredible to help you to be able to speak to people and listen to people. And if your children are young, you have grandkids, whatever, and you see your child is struggling to raise your grandchildren, gift them this book. You know, it'll help. It could help. It's worth a shot. And this is the information that I have for you today. I know I already said that once before, but, you know, sort of snowballs, I guess, once you get on the subject here. So I hope this helps you in some way or helps someone. And if you could please just pass this information on to someone else, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I often have messages like this that come up and encouraging words to help you. And I hope you enjoyed my fish tank now that it's really starting to clear up. It looks pretty good, yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You couldn't even see in it before. I took out these big fluffy plants. They were all over here. There was no swimming room for the fishes. There's not that many fishes in there. I give these black mollies to my neighbor. He's got a Jack Dempsey, or had a Jack Dempsey. He's got some fish that love them. Fish eat fish. So this is the information I have, and I hope it helps you in some way again. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and be the village. Help a child, help a parent. And that's all I have. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.